Welcome back, foodie fam. So we got some oxtails today, and now this is the best way to get it. I actually go ahead and buy the whole pack. You can normally go to like Sam's Club, or you can find it at like Costco's. But first thing we want to do is we want to clean our oxtails. Yes, clean the oxtails. We're actually trying to drain out a little bit of that blood out of there. Plus also we want to make sure there's no any grit and grime. So you can just use lime, you can just use vinegar, but you want to put it in a bowl, put it in the sink, and then drain it with water. And now when you put the salt and lime in there, you want to let it sit for at least about 10-15 minutes, kind of let it soak in there a little bit. And after you do that, you get it nice and up, you want to go ahead and drain it. So this part right here is very simple. We want to get everything kind of prepped up, and we're going to do it a little differently, as in like I actually could have used a bigger pan right here. And we're going to season this with a little just salt, a little oil, and we're going to get a little color on it. Now the reason why we want some color is because you want to get more of the flavor out of the meat. It's actually not searing it, you're just going to get a little bit more flavor. And I put a little bit of salt and pepper. Now the pepper is actually a blend. I use a white pepper and black pepper blend that I grind myself. And I put some salt in there, and some avocado oil, my bad. Hey, we're not all perfect. So I use some avocado oil. Now I'm gonna sear it. I want to get a good sear on both sides, just enough where there's a color in there. Now, if I would have used a bigger pan, it would have been a lot easier, because right now I have to wait until a lot of the water evaporated for this to happen. So the best thing you can do is just kind of pat your meat dry before put it in the oil, but this worked perfectly fine. It was not a big deal. Now we want to get our vegetables ready. I got garlic, I have tomatoes, I also have red and green bell peppers. And I like to use a red onion, but you can use white onion if you like. The red onion actually just has more of an onion flavor to it. And white onion is a little bit more sweeter, so it does have a little sweetness to it, which is actually pretty good too. So either way you want to do it, you're not going to go wrong. Now I want to get all this out. I want to just cut it down, and I want to dice this up. And I use tomatoes, Roman tomatoes, because they work really well. But the beautiful thing is that you can actually use tomato paste or ketchup in this, and it works just as fine. Alright, slide this up. We got the onion going. Now with the scraps that I have here, like the peel on the outside of the onion, the bell pepper scraps, I like to save those and put them in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer. Now what I did is I got the pot, and I still got the little bits and scrapings at the bottom of that pot, and I'm using some soy sauce, some Worcestershire, and some brownie in this. Brownie is actually just a burnt sugar. It's like a dark burnt sugar really. So instead of using sugar, use brownie, and it gives it a dark, real rich dark color. I have some fresh thyme. I'm just gonna put some thyme in there. And I'm gonna put this back on the stove for just a little bit, because I wanna get all those little bits off the ground, off the pot. And I wanna use this and pour this in there. So I just added a little water right there. Stir this around real quick. And now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it right over my oxtails. So you want to mix this around a little bit. Now it's going to sit in this marinade for a little bit. I normally take this marinade and I put it in there for about a good 15-20 minutes, and I'll put it in the oven, or I'll put it in the refrigerator for a little bit just to let it marinate. And I have some chives real quick. I'm going to pour this right on top of it. A little bit more seasoning, a little white and black pepper, and this is allspice. So if you didn't see it in the description, this is allspice. Gives it more of like a Jamaican flavor to it, like a Caribbean flavor. And I add a little bit more soy sauce. Now I'm gonna dab a little bit more water in here just to get enough water in there, but I don't want too much water in there. And Worcestershire. Now you can make oxtails in multiple different ways. You don't have to do it this way. There are gravy oxtails where you're just making a basic gravy and just pouring it over the oxtails, but you still want to go through the process of browning it, and you want the onions, and you still want some of the bell peppers. But you can just do a gravy on this and it'll be fine. That's more like a real southern style. Or you can go Jamaican style, where this is pretty closer into the in-between of like a Jamaican style, where you're going to add Scotch bonnet peppers to this also. Just 1 or 2, not much. And you want to add some butter beans at the end. So one of these days I'll make another version of this because this was fantastic. Now I'm getting some aluminum on the side, and I got some parchment paper. Now the parchment paper is going to help out in keeping the moisture in and without it evaporating so much. This is going to help it keep its tenderness, and it actually helps it cook a little bit faster. All right, put this on the side for a second, and now put it in the oven. So this has been sitting in this is going to be in the oven for a little bit. So while it's in the oven, you definitely want to get some rice or stuff made with this. You can do this with rice, mashed potatoes, or you can just eat it same. Now, or you can break it apart and make an oxtail sandwich or whatever you want to do. But I just got a fork.
Ooh,
just test it out. Now,
oxtails.
Look how tender this thing is. One is really, really hot, so it was hard to pick up. But as soon as I picked it up, it was just breaking apart. I couldn't even hold it. It was so hot, so hot. Look how hot that thing is. Oof. Ridiculous. So with the leftover gravy, what I did is I put it in a separate skillet, and I added some cornstarch and water, slurry, and then I just put this back on the stove, and so I can get a nice thick gravy to it.
Juicy.
All right, now let me go ahead and taste this up.
Flavorful oxtails.
Look at this. This is amazing. Oh, crazy good. You gotta make this. Whenever you get a chance to get some time and get some oxtails, try this recipe out and let me know what you think. All right, see you back, foodie fam.
Gotta try to make this.